Okay, I wanted to bring a quick video. We have this vehicle. Let's see if you can see that. It's a 2013 Honda Civic. It was referred to me from another shop, and basically their complaint is that every morning when they go out, first thing they have to jump it off because the battery's low. It's not completely dead. The dash light's up and all that. Dome light works, but it won't crank the car. So the other shop checked the charging system. It was okay. They load tested the battery. It was okay. And they decided to refer it to me because they don't do much electrical. And so we hooked up our amp meter, and you can see, let's see, can you see that? I can't. Oh, there we go. You can see it's vacillating between 50 and 100 milliamps basically, and the limit is 55, but generally we see 15 to 20 when the car is operating correctly. And the way we hook our meter up is we got the negative battery terminal disconnected, and we have one lead from our meter into the terminal, and the other lead goes to the negative battery post. And then these clips are just a battery charger I got on maintainer mode so the battery doesn't go dead. So in the old days, to check this, we would have our meter hooked up, and we would just go to the fuse, all the fuse boxes, and we would pull one fuse at a time till the load went away. But of course, with modern cars with so much electronics on there and computers and modules, when you do that, you could have a false reading, and it also will wake up different modules on the network when you disconnect the power by pulling a fuse, and so it could cause issues. So what we do, we use some sort of I could just use a voltmeter, but I have this neat tester that's called the amp hound, and you can adjust it for the different fuse types: maxi, standard, mini, micro, and also fuse values. And basically what it does is you put each probe on each side of the fuse, and if there's no, it'll beep one time and give you the reading if there's no draw. If there is a draw, it'll beep 3 times and show you how much of a reading there is. So it'll go beep, beep. So it's really pretty fast to check for a current draw, because you don't even have to look at the meter. All you have to do is listen for the beep. You put your probe on each side of the fuse, and if it beeps once, you go on to the next fuse. If it beeps 3 times, you note the position of the fuse and how much of a draw it has. Well, we tested everything in the fuse box, and the only draw we had was this bottom fuse here, this 10 amp, which is fuse number 29. And so I pulled the fuse out, and once I pulled the fuse, it went down to 0. So we pulled a wiring schematic with a power distribution, and there's fuse 29, and you can see all the stuff that is on that fuse. And one of the things that I noticed is it's pin 16 of the data link connector that's under the dash, and pin 16 is the battery feed for that data connector. So I'm like, okay, let's see if they have one of those things that the insurance company gives you to plug in to track your driving habit for a month or so to get cheaper insurance. And so I also have my trusty C-clamp holding the door ajar switch so that the dome light doesn't come on and the door ajar, so that if that was on, it would give me a false reading, because obviously the dome lights and all cause current draw. So I came down here, and here's the connector, and there's nothing hooked up to it. But I noticed this red wire here. Let's see if I can see it. And it's hooked up. Let's see. It's hooked up to that pin 16 wire. Well, that wire that goes to pin 16. So I pulled the kick panel off, and look what I found. A GPS tracker, like a car dealers put in to track your if you don't pay the bill, they know where to come and send a repo man. So I disconnected the tracker with the fuse plugged back in. See, the fuse is in. Disconnected the tracker, and boom, look at that. We're down to 8 milliamps, which is well under the 55 that you're allowed. Well, even under the 10 or 20 that we normally see. So now I have to call the customer and see how long ago they bought this car, and if they're still making payments, or my guess is it's probably been several years. They probably don't even know the tracker was on there. We generally see this problem after the dealer cuts, you pay the car and the dealer cuts their tracker off in their system. And what I think happens is that tracker is trying to find a satellite that it's been cut off. It's just like if you have your cell phone in a place where there's no signal, the battery will go dead because it's trying to find a satellite signal or a tower for your phone. It's the same thing, and we very rarely run into a problem if the car is still making payments to the original dealer that put the tracker in. Sometimes the car might have been sold several times and the original tracker's been turned off long ago, and so we'll call the customer and most likely we'll just take that tracker out and throw it in the trash, and that'll take care of her current draw. I thought it was interesting. I hope you enjoy these videos. Catch you on the next one.